Hello, lovely people, and welcome to my tutorial for today. I should say it's been a while. I want to apologize for taking this long. This period is actually very busy for us. Thank you, meanwhile, for being here and waiting for me. I appreciate all of that. If you are new to this channel, please don't forget to hit the red icon to subscribe. And when you do that, also touch the notification bell so that whenever I upload, you get notifications. Okay, so for today's tutorial, we're going to be making a trendy wrap skirt. It's a little bit different from the one I made earlier on. And it's going to have a plastic button at the front and then also an invisible zipper at the back where the slit is supposed to be. Okay, so and I'll be using this Ankara fabric for it. Alright, it's actually a dress I'm making, but my concentration is on the lower part. That's why I called it a skirt. Okay, so let's just get started. Right, I'll be cutting the front panel first of all. So I'll just fold into two. I'll be using the whole of this length of fabric because my length is 44. So whatever that is left, I'll use it to fold it inwards. Okay, the waist is 33 divided into 4 will give us 8¼ . This is 8¼ . There will be that, so I'll be adding 3 inches, 2 for allowance and then 1 for that. This is for my hip line. The hip measurement is 46 divided into 4 is 11½, which is here. So I'll be adding 2 inches allowance. Okay, so I'll connect the waist to the hip. All right. Now at the lower side, I'll have to first of all bring down the hip measurement, which already is at the edge right here. There's no need drawing it down. But at the lower side, I'll take away 2 inches and then connect it to my hip measurement. Okay. So this is what we have down to the hemline. I'll just quickly cut it out. Okay, so this is the front. I'll also be cutting another front like this one. Okay, that's going to be for the wrap. Okay, now for the wrap, I'll be using half of the actual waist measurement. You see, for this other front one, I added both allowance for that and very large amount of allowance for seam. Okay, but for this wrap, I will not be adding 3 inches that I added here. I'll just use the accurate waist measurement, the half of it, and maybe 1½ inches extra as allowance for fold. But before we do that, I'd like to place this front one like this. This is going to be for the wrap. Okay, it's not on fold. Don't mind this other side. It's going to be just a singular piece. Okay, I'm placing it like this because I want to get the hip curve. Okay, now here you have to determine which side you want your wrap to face. Mine is going to be facing the left side, which is here, so the hip is supposed to be here. All right, so as it is now, we have the hip curve. Okay, I will now place half of the actual waist measurement here plus 1.5 inches allowance. All right. The half is 16.5. Okay, which is here. I would add 1.5 inches. All right. So now from here, I will just stylishly and carefully slant it a little bit down to the hemline. Okay. This is supposed to be a straight line. You be careful so you don't make it go too inwards than you intend it to. Okay. Okay. I think this is okay. Alright. I'll need to measure it since you are not here with me. For this lower part, I have 9.5 inches. Okay. So I started from the waistline and then at this lower part, it is narrow. Okay. I have 9.5 inches here. I'll also cut it out. This is supposed to be for the wrap. Now for the back, I'll just use the front panel also. All I need to do is to bring out my zip allowance. Okay. You decide how many inches you want to use for your zip allowance. This is 2.5 inches zip allowance. Now the way I did it for the front, I only folded it into 2 because I cut the front separate. Assuming I was cutting both the front and the back, I would have folded into 4. Okay. So for this back also, I folded into 2. Okay, so this is the back. I'll just need to open up the zipper allowance area. Okay, so now we have both the front and the back and also the wrap piece. So this is how the wrap piece looks like because I want the wrap to be going towards the left hand area. Assuming you want it to be going towards the right hand area, this slant will have to be looking towards the right hand area. Okay, so I will now proceed to just cut out the lining for both this one and then the front and the back panel. Alright, so these are the linings. I've cut them. As for the wrap at the front, I used the same material as the lining. You can see it is 2 for the front wrap, but for the other ones I used lining for all of them. So now I'm going to go ahead to line them properly. Okay, and this is the way I'll be going about the lining. I'm going to be opening it up like this. This is the right side, this is the wrong side. Okay, with it open this way, I'll first of all make my stitch at this hemline. You can see I notched the exact length of our skirt. It's on both sides. Okay, so I'm going to make a stitch along this hemline. When I am done with the stitch, I will then fold it like this. You have to assume I already made the stitch along this hemline. The next thing will be to fold it to this exact length of skirt so that this remaining one will now be pushed inside with the help of the lining. So it's going to appear this way. I hope you see it. Okay, so I'll go to the machine and line them properly. So this was what I meant earlier. You see, I've made my stitch, the first one at the hemline. I will now fold it this way. I hope you see this is the actual length of my skirt where you have the notch. I will fold it with the help of the lining inwards. Okay, I'll just draw it and make sure that the notch, I hope you can see it, that the notch represents the exact measurement of the skirt. I hope you see it. And then I'll make another stitch along this place to close up the two sides. When I sew here, I'll go to the other side and do the same thing. And then make my stitch again. The reason I'm explaining this is because someone asked that I teach how to line a pencil skirt. This is just the procedure. Okay, when you must have done that and turn it over, it should give you something like this. I hope you see it. I hope you see how the inside is looking like. See the edge. I hope you see it. Okay, so I'll go on and finish the rest of the lining process. Okay, so I've completed the lining, as you can see, of both the front and the back panel. Okay, I hope you can see it. Like I said, for the wrap piece, I used the fabric as the lining. That is why you have it the same thing both ways. And also here I have 2 pieces of the Ankara fabric. I used the measurement of 6.5 inches. This is going to form the belt, and as you can see, one is longer, the other one is shorter. Okay, the one that is longer is going to be inserted on the wrap piece, while the one that is shorter will be inserted on one side of the back panels. Okay, so I'll go to the machine, fold it, close up one end. That is, when I fold it this way, I'll close up this end and then make a stitch all the way down till I get to the end of the piece. I will do the same thing at this other side, which means one of the two heads is going to be left open. When I'm done with it, I will then insert it. As you can see, after the lining, I left a little part of this wrap piece open. So when I'm done with this, what I will do is I will now place it inside like this. I'll place it like this, turn it this way, and so. But in order not to confuse you, let me just do this one first, then I'll show you the way I'm going to be attaching it on the wrap piece. Okay, now I have closed it up. I mean, one end. You see, this other end is open. The same thing with the long one. For now, I'll be working with the long piece. Okay, this is our wrap piece. Okay, so this is how I'm going to be inserting the rope for the wrap piece. You see, it is straight, but when inserting it, it has to go slanting this way so that it will lap properly at this waistline area. So when I insert it, it's going to be like this. Now if you keep it straight, it's going to be this way. It will be going down. I hope you understand. But with this slant now, if you are to follow it, you will get the perfect result, which will now align with the rest of this front panel. So I'm going to be attaching it like this, following this slanting line I made. Okay, so I'll just follow this this line. I hope you see it, so that we have this excess on the inside, which is not straight. So I'm going to go to the machine and make my stitch following this slanting line I earlier drew. Okay, so this is the way it will look like this. Now with this rope here, you should also know that for the rope at the back side, it should be on the right side of the two back panels. I hope you understand. Since this is coming from the left side, it is going to meet the one on the right side, which is this one. Okay, so but because there's going to be zip here, I will not be tucking it in this way. There will be no penalty if you choose to tuck that one in also, but I will just want to place my own like this and then just make a stitch to hold it firm. Okay. Alright, this is how I put it so that when I insert my zip like this, it will now be this way. It will now be this way. Okay. The next thing will now be to join this wrap piece to the front panel. Okay, so now the next thing will be to attach the wrap piece, like I earlier said, to the front panel. This is the wrap piece, this one is the front panel. Okay, there is not much work here. Just carefully place it like this. Okay, this is the wrap piece. I hope you can see it. Let me also put the line. I'm putting a line so that you will understand where the wrap piece ended. Okay, so this is it, the wrap piece and the front panel. With this done now, I'll just hold it firm at the waist area here and then at the side down, so that I can only open from this point. Okay, so I'll make my stitch at this waistline and then down through the hip line to the hem line. Okay, so with the rope joined, you see it is lapping properly. Let me do it this way so that you can see it very well. I hope you see it. It corresponded so well. Okay, assuming we did not slant it, it's going to give us something like this, and then the rope will be looking downwards. Okay, now the next will be to insert the button, and here are the so these are the plastic cover buttons I'll be making use of for the wrap piece. I'll be putting it on the wrap piece at the front. So all I need to do is to now cut out pieces of this fabric. I'll make sure I include this part that is colorful, not just this plain part. This place that has peach, I'll make sure I include it. I will just cut like this. Use it to cover the buttons. There's actually a machine that is used to do this. Like this. So at the end of the day it is this way, but I'm going to be using that machine to make sure it is strong, because as it is not strong, but with the help of that machine it's going to make it strong. I only needed to show you. Okay, this is the button and this is the cover, the plastic cover. All right, the cover buttons, I've carefully covered it with this material. I hope you can see it. I hope you can see it. I have 15 of them here, so I'm going to evenly place it on the wrap piece. That's why I'll be placing it on the wrap piece. Okay, so I'll now decide how many inches I'm going to use to put the buttons. This is just going to serve as decoration. Okay, so I will start probably from here, from where we have the band, and then evenly distribute it until I have the 15 of them carefully tacked on this wrap piece. Okay, so here it is. I've carefully tacked the button. I hope you can see it. Unfortunately, I made a slight mistake, which is not a mistake anyway. If I had known, I would have used a plain fabric for this button so that it would be so obvious. As it is not obvious. So I will advise, if you are doing your own, use a plain fabric for it so that the buttons will be so obvious to notice. All right, okay. I hope you can see the buttons. All right, and I also tacked it to the body except for this upper part. The rest of it all, I tacked it to the body so it is no longer open except for this upper area. All right, now for the back panel, this is for our zip. Okay, this is the waistline, this is for our zip. I already closed it up to some point. Now for this lower point, I'm going to also be inserting an invisible zip down here, okay, so that whenever the person wants to wear it, she will either open it up or close it. It will remain fitted or open. Okay, so for this upper one, I will not be adding the zip now because like I said, this is a gown, it is not a skirt. All right, so I'll be adding the zip together with the upper panel when I'm done with the upper part. Okay, but for this lower part, I'll have to add this zip here. I'm facing the head downward. This is the head of the zip. I'm facing it downward. Okay, so as it is now, I will now sew it here and then sew it again against this one. Okay, so I'll go to the machine and sew it carefully, but making sure I am sewing exactly beside the teeth of the zip. I'll sew it down. I will also do the same thing at this other side. Okay, now I've inserted the zip. As you can see, I will need to turn it over so you will see the effect. Now looking at it, you will think there is no slit here. Okay, this will prevent the back panel from tearing in case it has any strain. Okay, you can easily open it to give it the slit you want, or you close it. I hope you see it. Now the next thing would be to join the front and the back together using the body measurement, that is the waist and the hip. But you see, since I said this is a gown, I will not be joining it because I'll be joining first the upper part of the front panel to this one. I will join the upper part of the back panel to this one, and then before I do the joining at the sides. Okay, I hope you all understood today's tutorial. Okay, the concentration was on the wrap piece, which is at this front, and the plastic button, and then this zip at the slit, okay, at the back panel. Thank you, lovely people, for being here till the end. Thank you for your love. Thank you for subscribing. And if you are new to this channel, please hit the red icon to subscribe, and also don't forget to touch the notification bell. If this tutorial has been helpful to you in any way, please give us thumbs up and don't forget to share our videos. Thank you once again for your encouragement. I love you, and take very good care of yourself. Bye.